Welcome back to Trailhead Talks. We're into our next segment, and that is community. We have a very secretive and interesting segment for you. And it has to do with a family that existed about 40 years ago. But there is something very intriguing about the situation, and we need your help to help this family out. So we have the private detective, Mr. Mike here, and he's going to be filling us in on the details about this case and how we can help, as well as some other services that he offers here in Billings that could possibly help you. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure, and I'm really, really excited about this segment because I love that investigative, secret part of people's lives that people love to hide.
Yes.
It's like, what's in your skeleton box? But we do have to be serious because we do have a case that you're working on, and you're going to give us kind of a summary as to what's been going on and how we can help.
Yeah. It's a pretty big case, but to keep it as short as I can, I was hired by a family, a brother, an older brother, he's a brother of 4 boys. And his little brother, one of his middle brothers, which are twins, was, he believed, murdered 40 years ago in Phoenix, Arizona by their mother and father. And for 20 years, so back in, that'd have been 73, 74, nobody had reported him missing. There was some history with the family of abuse. Family services, but back then, family services is not like today. The one write-up that we saw was, mom is sadistic, but we recommend parenting classes. Both of the twin boys had broken legs, cigarette burns, yet they left them with them. So when the one twin, Gary, that we're talking about was 6 years old, he ran away. Between 5 and 6, he ran away. And that's shocking in itself that he would know that at 5 years old to run away.
Yeah.
And he did. And he was found by the Phoenix police and brought right back to the house.
Oh.
Dropped off. That was the last night he was seen alive. The mother became upset that the police were at the house. And Gary took a beating that night. And my client, the oldest boy, who was 8 at the time, remembers seeing Gary all bloody and bruised up that night. He never saw him again. The family, within a day, moved to outside of Phoenix to a suburb area, which at that time was all desert. And it's still pretty much desert there now. It's south of Phoenix. And bought up 3.5 acres of land. Lived there for a year, and then when people started asking more questions, they moved again. They eventually ended up in Idaho, where at 12, the surviving twin was beat so bad that finally Idaho stepped in and took him out of the family and adopted him out, changed his name, and nobody ever saw him again for 20 years. The 2 other brothers, the youngest and the oldest, my client, stayed with the family for some reason. They didn't feel the need to take them. I don't understand that. But again, even then, family services isn't like it is now. Yeah. So 20 years ago, the surviving twin, when he was like 21, he hired a PI in Phoenix to try to find his brother, find out what happened. Mom had told everybody he was adopted out. She had told other people he died of a disease. Then she said that they shipped him off to a boarding school. So the PI and this news organization, the Crusaders back then, did a piece, didn't find any truth to anything she said, confronted the father. He had some very suspicious answers to his questions. Mother lawyered up. So they turned it over to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, the famous Sheriff Joe Arpaio. But the case grew cold for another 20 years. And then my client, who I'd done some PI work for in town here hired me to take on the case. And I believe he's on this plot of land that they had originally moved to. They've owned for 40 years, never been back to. There's no structures on it. It's only worth about $10,000. And they live in Oregon now. Well, the mother does. The father has died. And have never touched the land, never been back to visit it. No improvements. It's worthless land. and it's the only piece of land they still own. Everything else they've sold.
Wow.
So she made the comment when the one youngest brother wanted to buy it, or sell it, actually wanted to sell it, because the dad died of lung cancer, which, as we know, is expensive in this country, and the mom has a little bit of dementia and needs nursing home. So the brother was looking for money,
Yeah.
and the mom said, no, we've made a deal that as long as one of us, me or your dad, is alive, we don't sell the land.
Whoa.
And we believe that's because she just wanted us snooping around on the land.
Right.
And that, and find his body, which I believe he's there. So we started a GoFundMe project because the brother, the oldest brother, all the brothers have issues. I mean, they took a lot of abuse. The surviving twin said to say he is in prison right now because he had a bad life. The brother that hired me, the oldest, he's had a rough life, but he's trying to do well, but he doesn't have the money anymore to keep paying my fees. So I've taken the case basically on my own because Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, we have got them re-involved in it. They're looking at the criminal aspect of it. They, at this point, don't have an interest in finding the little boy.
Yeah.
I would like to find him.
Yeah.
And I need the funds to do that. One, to travel back and forth down there. And the sheriff's office said that they would consider searching for him if I came up with the funds.
Yeah.
But they can't afford to go out to 3 acres and search the whole 3 acres.
Right.
They did a little bit of a search with some dogs and that, but they didn't do 3.5 acres.
Yeah.
So we need to search the whole land. And I'm here today. I know it's in Billings and it's far away from Phoenix, but it's a lost little boy.
Yeah.
And I'd really like to find him and give him a proper burial and show that this happened to him.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
first, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing that story with us. It's heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
And I ask if you find it in your heart to please go to the GoFundMe link that will be below the link here on YouTube. And if you're watching this on TV, please text me at 661-2325. I'll send you the link. We want to try to raise money to get this little boy found. Now, aside from that, you are a private investigator.
I am.
And you can also help people find out if their spouse is cheating on them. Is that one of your services?
Yeah. Sad to say, that is pretty much my bread and butter. Service keeps me the most busy is cheating spouses. There's not a lot of PIs in town that handle that. Mm-hmm. Most of them work criminal cases for the local defense attorneys and that.
Yeah.
But I like to specialize in the cheating spouses and missing relatives. I do, we'll do a jack of all trades of anything, but cheating spouse is one of my more popular services that I offer. Sad to say.
I think it's hilarious.
Yes.
But that is awesome. And unfortunately, there's a lot of cheaters out there. So if you're suspecting, give Mike a call and you will find out if it's true or not.
Yeah, we'll get you the answers one way or the other.
Very cool.
If they're cheating. We have all types of techniques and gadgets to help with that.
I love it.
Yes.
And what is your website address?
My website address is elitepimt.com.
Perfect. And your phone number?
Phone number is 406-698-8911.
Perfect. So if you could please donate even $1 or $20 to try to help get some more funds, we would really appreciate it. And if you need to hire Mike to get your own answers resolved, give him a holler. Thank you so much for watching this segment, and we have another guest coming up next.